Hey folks, we're here with Bryan Sullivan from the SDL team, and we did a video on SDL before that I'll link to, but for people who might not have heard about it, tell us about SDL.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So SDL is short for Security Development Lifecycle. It's the process that we use here internally at Microsoft to help ensure that all the software we build, all our products and all our services, are built more securely. They're built with security in mind, actually from the very beginning. It's not a matter of just coming in at the end after your product is all built and then like, oh, well, we'll test for security. It's not that at all. It's actually very comprehensive from the very start of the process, before you're even writing code, while you're still in like the requirements gathering phase and model generating phase. You're already thinking about security, and you're thinking about security throughout the entire life cycle, hence the name.
And we want to talk about MSF Agile plus SDL today. So tell us about the difference between MSF Agile and plus SDL.
Sure, yeah. So MSF Agile, so the overall thing we're going to be talking about today is Team Foundation Server. I'm sure a lot of reviewers are familiar with TFS. And what we wanted to do was help build that SDL security practice into TFS. So users who are already using TFS are going to get all the benefit of the security knowledge that we've accumulated over the years. Now, MSF Agile is one of the templates that ships out of the box with TFS. It's probably by far the most popular one. So what we did is we took that template and we edited it to add security practices SDL on top. So whereas what you get out of the box is MSF Agile, what you can download from the website is MSF Agile plus SDL.
And how does it integrate?
Sure. There are actually a few good points of integration. Think about the types of things that TFS does for you. So TFS will track your work items. So all the requirements and user stories you want to complete during your project. TFS will track for you. It's also a bug tracking system. So when you file bugs, there's a way to keep track of those. And it's a source code repository. You can check in your code, all your associated artifacts, and they're there for you. And the MSF Agile plus SDL template actually integrates with all three of those types of integration points.
And can you show us what this would look like for someone that uses it every day?
I would be absolutely happy to. So I have it up here right now. I have Visual Studio 2010 open and my Team Explorer open. I've created a new project called Channel 9 Demo. And Channel 9 Demo is a team project that's been built with the MSF Agile plus SDL process template. Now, a lot of this should be familiar to anybody who's used TFS in the past. You have tasks and work items. There's a few things in here that you probably haven't seen before. And the first one of these is SDL tasks. So I'll open this up. And an SDL task is a new type of work item built into MSF Agile plus SDL. So whereas out of the box you have task and bug, we add SDL task above that to represent a security task.
Yeah.
So out of the box, it comes with these 7 things. So it says, well, we want you to identify a primary security contact, identify a security advisor, define a bug bar, and all these are really important things. But a lot of times, people will look at this out of the box and be like, "What is this? All there is? Is like 7 things to do, and that's how you create more secure software?" No, there's actually a lot more to it than that. But the reason is we're talking about an Agile process here, and there's different kinds of rules for security in Agile projects as there are for security in like waterfall or spiral type projects.
Yeah.
So one of the issues is that Agile projects have this tendency to just live forever intentionally. It's not like a waterfall project that goes out of control. Agile can intentionally just iterate on forever. Think of like a website or something. Like when would Microsoft.com like ship end? Never. Like hopefully 100 years from now there's still Microsoft.com.
Yeah.
So one of the integration points here is with the team project iterations. So this would be for those of you who are familiar, you'll definitely understand iterations, but who aren't but maybe familiar with Agile, think of these as like sprints. Mm-hmm. So if I come in here and I add a new sprint, one of the cool things about this is there's actually a web service right now that's installed on the application tier of TFS that's part of the SDL or the MSF Agile plus SDL process template. And what it's doing is it's kind of sitting there listening for certain things to happen. And one of the things it listens for is, hey, has the user added a new iteration? And when that happens, it like spins up and says, well, they've added a new sprint to their project. We need to add more security work. So if I refresh this, you'll see it's got a few more things. We had 7, and now we've got 11. So now it wants us to ensure the team has completed training, perform a final security review, perform a risk assessment, perform pen testing. So it's know we have more stuff to do, and it's added task for us. Still not a lot of stuff here. That's because we haven't added any code to it. We have a totally empty solution right now, and it's hard to act on security things when there's no code. So let's go ahead and do that too. If I do new project, and I create a web app, this is good just the way it is, and I go check this into source control. I first have to add it, and then I'll go check it in. This is yet another thing that it's listening for. I talked about the web service on the back end that's listening for things to happen. So one of the things it listens for, besides creating new iterations, is checking in new code. It's also smart enough to understand what kind of code you checked in. I just checked in a web app and a C# web app, so it knows to filter out inappropriate items. This should be done by now. We've got 28 things to do now. So you'll see here, review use of cryptography, disable tracing and debugging, complete threat models. You'll see that all the items here are those specific to .NET code, to C#. You won't see anything here that would apply to a straight up C++ app. It's not going to talk about buffer overflow defenses or enabling GS or ASLR or anything like that, because it's not applicable.
Yeah.
It's C#. It's going to talk about the web stuff too. So it's talking about disable tracing and debugging and running cat.net, which is another one of our static analysis tools for ASP.NET. It's not talking about running prefast or anything that's specific to native code or specific to client server apps. So that's the main point of integration with the work items, and adding new sprints, adding new code, and automatically getting the right work items there for you. So it's not only filtering it out, but you're not going to forget anything. You're never going to forget to review crypto because it's right here for you.
Sure.
So I mentioned 3 things. So there was work items, which we showed, and source code, which we showed. One more thing that I want to talk about is the integration with the bug work item. So bug is an inherent work item type as part of MSF Agile. We haven't added a separate security bug work item. What we did was we added security into the main bug work item. So I have a new one here, which I'll just create a new one. We'll call it, I don't know, how about SQL injection detected. And I'll come over here, and this new tab is the one we added. So you have to say not only what the bug is, but what the security cause and the security effect of it are. So if it's not a security bug, if it's just a regular straight up functional bug, you just leave it as not a security bug. But in this case, I'll say what the cause is. So this is a SQL injection attack, and then the effect is one of the stride values: spoofing, tampering, repudiation, et cetera. So in this case, it would be, let's say, elevation of privilege. Origin is kind of a cool field too. Origin is basically, where did this bug come from? So if I just found this by hand, I'd leave it as user. That means a person found it.
Sure.
But one of the really cool things is if you have an automated tool, the tool can fill out that origin field as that tool's name. So all of the SDL tools that we released as free downloads so far. So we have the SDL threat modeling tool, the bin scope binary analyzer, minifuzz file fuzzer, all of those, and then a few other third-party ones. Kasaba Security has a tool called Watcher that also integrates with it. We've got a few more companies doing integration. So those tools will fill out the origin field. So this bug was found by bin scope binary analyzer. And then you can run some reports to say, oh, well, these tools are finding this many bugs of this many criticalities.
Yeah.
So you really get a good sense of just where you're getting the biggest bang for your buck from your tool investment.
What's the most insecure part of my program?
Right, and who's doing the best job of finding it for me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And which versions of TFS does this work with?
So the one that's available right now works with TFS 2008. But we've got one coming out really, really soon that'll work with 2010. And kind of a cool thing, that the 2010 version is going to add a couple new features on top of what I've shown here. One of the really cool ones, I think it makes a big difference for developers who may not necessarily be security experts in and of themselves, is a bug bar. So a bug bar is basically a way to say how to triage a bug correctly without really having to know much about security. So if I just come up to a dev on the street and say, well, I've got a cross-site scripting bug in XYZ ASPX. Like, well, I don't know if that's, I don't know. It sounds bad, but I don't know how bad it is. You know, maybe it's not terrible. I'll just punt that to the next sprint or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to tell you exactly how bad that is. So you fill out your cause, you fill out your effect, and then you also fill out your scope. It's like, does this affect, you know, how many users does this affect? Under what conditions? And it goes through a matrix, and they're very objective questions. Like if you have 10 people fill it out, they're all going to come to the same conclusions at the end. This is not like risk equals impact times probability. You get 10 people and they all fill it out.
Assign what value you feel
it's absolutely not like that. Very, very objective. And at the end of it's going to come out and it's going to say, this is critical, this is important, this is moderate, this is low. So again, like for people who are not security experts, you're going to come to a very consistent rationale of just how bad this bug is.
And what's the price on this?
Totally free, absolutely free.
Why would we do something for free?
Because it is our task in trustworthy computing, not only to secure our own products, but to help. It
helps the platform.
Right, it helps the platform immensely. It does us no good if our own stuff is secure, but then the stuff you build with our products is insecure. We really want to help make everybody's stuff as secure as possible.
A lot of work went into this, you know, for us to use internally. So, you know, push that out to people and let them use it too.
Fantastic.
And where can people find out more about this? Where can they go to download it?
So you can download this at our main website, which is www.microsoft.com/SDL. You can get all our stuff there, and again, it's all totally free. All the guidance documents, all the tools, the ones I mentioned earlier, like bin scope analyzer, threat modeling tool, and file fuzzer, the process templates. And also, we talk about this stuff all the time on our blog site, which is blogs.msdn.com/SDL.
Well, thanks for showing us today, Bryan.
Thank you very much.